You are Locked On Phillies Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Philadelphia, on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
And here I am debating as to whether or not I should even do a Phillies postcast after the Sixers postcast that we did earlier tonight. I'm like, am I going to see enough of the Phillies game to really be to do a good postcast? Am I even going to be doing enough? Am I going to see enough? Oh, baby. Saw the whole game. And what I didn't see, I went back and made up for it. Watched Kyle Schwarber's 3-run home run. That was cool. And then really after that is when the game started, especially when Trea Turner's error led to a 3-run homer and the Phillies going in the tank a little bit and some more misplays, some bad pitching, and then Nick Castellanos tied things up in the ninth. And Johan Rojas, I put it out there on social media, I'll say it to you as well. Tonight, Johan Rojas is Spanish for Tyrese Maxey. Phillies get the win. Welcome into this Locked On Philadelphia Phillies postcast. I'm Mark Farzetta. Thank you for choosing Locked On Sports Philadelphia for your postcast reaction. And this episode is brought to you by Monopoly Go. I admit it, I do have a competitive side. And I'm a big fan of the game Monopoly Go. The mobile twist at Monopoly Go is a great twist on the classic Monopoly game. So join your friends and download Monopoly Go, now free on the App Store and Google Play Store. Let's start it off, as we always do, with three big things. Ladies and gentlemen, Johan Rojas steals the show today. Not a power hitter. We remember in the offseason, during spring training, one of the first stories to be reported coming out of spring training, coming out of Clearwater, Florida. Oh, my goodness, great. Oh, Johan Rojas looking swole. Johan Rojas looking built, looking stable, looking like he's got some broad shoulders, put on some meat. We haven't seen anything to suggest this season that he's bulked up for power. Yet, first home run of the season comes on him turning on a slider that Estevez hung up in the zone, and he pulled it down the left field line for a home run, 2-run score, 2-run home run, gives the Phillies a 7-5 lead. I feel great for Johan Rojas. That was a huge swing by him. He has been playing phenomenally well in center field, as we know. That is the given and all that. And whenever Johan Rojas is making sure you win a ball game, usually that's a concern. But in the same game where you talk about Nick Castellanos coming up with 3 hits and Nick Castellanos tying up the ball game earlier in the same inning, I'm going to go ahead and feel pretty good about what Johan Rojas was able to do today. A couple of different things happened for him in center field. One was making that Tucker double a lot closer than it should have been with a great throw in from center field. So I give him credit for that. But when you talk about a guy who did add muscle and you haven't seen really the fruits of that labor bear so far this season, to come up in this instance, what a time to hit your first home run. And it's just the second time that he has hit a home run off a guy who's actually a pitcher. Because his first career home run came off Luplow, who I believe now was in the Phillies minor league system, a position player, and he took him deep for his first career home run last season. He had another one later in the year, and then this is his first one, and he took Estevez deep in that ninth inning to give the Phillies that 7-5 lead. You love to see it, so good for Johan Rojas. Number 2 of my 3 big things, let's get to Nick Castellanos. I said it yesterday, and I'm not saying this is an I told you so moment, but there were a number of at-bats yesterday where Nick Castellanos was barreling up baseballs, and they were just hit right at people. And there was one particular play that he hit a long fly ball to deep right field, and Joe Adell went back on it, warning track, catches it in the air, and then slams into the wall. Same type of pitch, same type of play. But this time, Nick Castellanos jumps on a first pitch fastball that was up in the zone, puts it to opposite field, and you could see it. Nick Castellanos, the moment he made contact, just went number 1. Just went number 1. For the people on the podcast, it literally is a number 1. He gave the number 1, not the other number 1 you might be thinking about. But anyway, gave the number 1, rounds the bases for his second home run of the season. What a road trip for Nick Castellanos. Gets the 3-hit game with his second home run of the season. Second home run of this road trip, and maybe, just maybe, he is putting it together. As I said yesterday, you could see that his timing was just a little bit off, but he was absolutely putting a good barrel on the baseball in yesterday's game. And then today comes out there and gets 2 singles And that was actually the deciding moment. While I was doing 76ers Postcast, I took a look at the box score. I know, Nick Castellanos already got he's got 2 hits. You already have a 3-run home run from Kyle Schwarber. All right, baby, let's do it. We're gonna do a postcast. And that's exactly what we're doing right now. And seeing Nick Castellanos go out there and get that home run today was great. And seeing the dugout react to it was also great. So good for Nick Castellanos. I can't believe I'm bumping him down to number 3, but I got to bump him down to number 3. Alec Boehm's still the hottest hitter in all of baseball, ladies and gentlemen. Got another RBI today, another 2 hits today. He is just unbelievable. What is it, 13 games now? Goodness gracious. Alec Boehm has another multi-hit, not just another, extend the hitting streak, but Alec Boehm has another multi-hit game. He ups his batting average to 366 now on the season. That is bonkers. Continues to play a great third base bag as well. But what you're seeing as far as his production goes is incredible. Now, over the course of this hitting streak, we have referenced this before, but we'll reference it again. He has upped his average since this hitting streak started from 232 to 366. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 consecutive games now. Alec Boehm is hit safely in. Of those games, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of those games, he has he has multi-hit games in those games. That is phenomenal. You talk about guys figuring out. He has always been a good major league hitter. He has always been a clutch major league hitter hitting with runners in scoring position. And before the 9th inning, where the Phillies really started to break it out and tied the game and, of course, took the lead, in the 7th inning, Alec Boehm got the scoring back going in the direction of your Philadelphia Phillies. In that 8th inning, Moore comes in to pitch out of the bullpen, so you got a lefty on the bump. Kyle Schwarber flies out to left field. Trea Turner gets a single, then steals second with Harper going up to the plate. He ends up striking out, swinging over top a knuckle curveball that was dropped in there beautifully by Moore. It was a great pitch. And then Alec Boehm stepped up there and hit an RBI single, bringing home Trea Turner after Turner stole second base. So Turner put himself in scoring position. And what happens when you put a runner in scoring position for Alec Boehm? Boehm delivers, and he gets the RBI. After that, they went to Estevez. They brought him in. They brought him in. He was able to get out of the rest of that inning. He got JT Realmuto to strike out, chasing a high slider that was just gross. Realmuto, earlier in that at bat, I think it was the previous pitch, as a matter of fact, roped one down the left field line, and I was hoping it would be wrapped around that pole, that short porch in left field in Anaheim, and unfortunately it was just short of it. Great catch, though, by that fan, so hat tip to you. Give that fan a contract. And then JT Realmuto, unfortunately, struck out swinging at that high slider. You go into the 8th inning. Jose Alvarado was able to lock it down for the most part and get out of that inning. Did give up a infield single that hit off the second base bag. Somehow, magically, Bryson Stott was able to corral that ball and prevented it from maybe being a slow roller in the center field where Rengifo might possibly get to second base. But he smothered it. And then Alvarado was able to get Ohapi to fly out to center field and then Tucker to line out to left field to Brandon Marsh. So you go into the 9th inning. All cards are on the table. What are you going to do? You're down a run thanks to the RBI single by Alec Boehm in the 8th. Brandon Marsh steps up, strikes out on a pitch that was well outside, but for whatever reason, it was a strike tonight. He ends up sitting down, and then Nick Castellanos jumped on that first pitch fastball and put it 386 feet into right field, which was awesome for the solo home run to tie it up at 8, and then, tie it up at 5. Then Bryson Stott steps up. Now, Bryson Stott, we know, has had some struggles coming into this road trip. And he looks like a guy who is absolutely starting to figure it out. We could definitely go back to the 2 home run game that he had with the 2 separate 2-run home runs that he had against the San Diego Padres now 4 games ago. But since then, and even really in that Padres series, he had the 3-hit game followed by the 2 home run game. And then he was able to go out there and mash again for the final game. For 3 out of it was 3 for 5 in the final game of the San Diego series. Had a hit last night, so good. All right, trending in the right direction. And then he comes up tonight with a ground rule double to get on base just dropped it inside the left field line, and it bounced out for a ground rule double. Just dropped it in front of Johan Rojas coming to the plate, and Johan Rojas was able to get that slider hanging up in the zone. They say baseball's not a team sport, not as much as maybe some of the other sports. It was a team game tonight, especially in that ninth inning with the Phillies able to come out and complete the comeback. There was a whole lot of baseball before that ninth inning happened. We're going to cover it when we come back here. You're Locked On Phillies Postcast. Let's look right now at what you can get when you're talking about how incredible FanDuel is. It is playoff time in the NBA, as we well know in Philadelphia. Unfortunately, we don't know it too well in the NHL, but at least in the NBA, we know it. Also, baseball, full swing, especially in that ninth inning. And now you can get in on all the action on FanDuel, where you can place your bet on every game. Right now, new customers, listen to this, new customers on FanDuel can get $150 in bonus bets guaranteed. That's $150, win or lose on FanDuel. Bet on everything from slap shots to home runs to strikeouts to slam dunks. Bet on it all at FanDuel and on an app that is safe, secure, and easy to use. So what are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com/LockedOn. That's FanDuel.com/LockedOn to make your first bet an automatic win. $150 in bonus bets guaranteed on FanDuel. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Before we get to all the baseball that did take place prior to the ninth inning, Crazy is in here. There we go. Crazy. Biggest? All right. Rojas, Castellanos, Turnbull. Hell yeah, that's your big three. Okay. Schwarbs. Marte scared me. Oh, we're going to get to Marte. There we go. Appreciate you. Here's what you got. All right. So by the time I was pulling focus on the Phillies and getting done my responsibilities for the 76ers, it was right around that fifth inning. In that fifth inning, the Phillies went down 1-2-3. Anderson had K'd the side. Schwarber, Turner, Harper went down, all went down in that inning. Okay. Going to the bottom of the fifth inning, Tucker steps up there with a single to right field. Moniak strikes out looking at a sweeper from Turnbull. And then Nito goes up there after he had a home run earlier in the game. He goes up there and he strikes out swinging at a slider. And then also Tucker stole a base there, but that ended up not coming back to bite him. And then Shanuel ends up going out there and grounding out to Alec Boehm at third. So things look like they were under control. It was a 3-1 Phillies game. 3-1 Phillies in the lead in that fifth inning. Then the sixth inning happened where nothing was doing for the Phillies offensively other than JT Realmuto had a single in the sixth inning, but then unfortunately Brandon Marsh grounded into a double play to end the inning. Then in the bottom of the sixth, Adele steps up, lines out to short. Ward steps in there and gets an infield single. And Stott actually did a great job of flagging the ball down, getting it, and then unfortunately couldn't make the throw to first base. Bryce Harper tried to dive and make a play, just couldn't make it. So Stott had an opportunity to make a play, tough throw to make, didn't make it. So close play is what I'm telling you here. That's all Rob Thompson needed to see. So Spencer Turnbull, now most likely making his last start for the foreseeable future, he's out. Yunior Marte comes in. Tinker Topper did a little tinker in and said, you know what? We're good here with Turnbull. Thank you very much. Appreciate your effort there tonight. We're going to call it a start for you, and that's where we're going to put a bow on it. And I will say it was at 98 pitches for Spencer Turnbull, so I get it. Yunior Marte then comes in, and he did his job. He did his job. He gets a ground ball, double play ball. 9 times out of 10, 99 times out of 100, it's a double play ball. It's a sharply hit ground ball right at Trea Turner. Now, keep in mind, it's a 3-1 ball game at this point. I'm just coming off my high for the 76ers, and I'm settling into this game, and I'm like, oh, double play ball. Beautiful. Perfect. Get out of this. Preserve the 3-1 lead. We're good to go, baby. All of a sudden, Trea Turner just can't handle it. I think the words that Tom McCarthy used on the broadcast were spins out of his glove. Whatever it was, he didn't catch it. That was a patented double play ball. You should have Turnbull, he's off the hook for any runs. Marte gets out of the inning. He gets praised instead of jeered. But a little thing called baseball happened, and Trea Turner couldn't make the play, couldn't turn the double play. So already Stott came close to getting the first. There should be second out of the inning, unable to do it. Turner had the opportunity to turn two, didn't do it. Rengifo goes up there and just belts the next pitch out of the ballpark. 3-run home run. You're now down, instead of you being up 3-1, you're now down 4-3. He gets O'Hoppe to line out to left field. Tucker ends up getting in the double, and that was the double I referenced earlier with Johan Rojas making a great throw in, but nothing doing, unfortunately. And then of all people, Mickey Moniak gets the RBI single, scoring Tucker from second, and then he takes second base on the throw. So now you're down 2 runs, 5-3. At this point, I'm ready just to yell at Trea Turner's killing my mojo after having so much fun with the Sixers. Now Trea Turner's going to make that error. It's going to bite the Phillies in the old behind. And now they're going to have to not even notch their 20th win of the month of April. Come on. Or at least not be at 20 wins yet at the end of April, as April's now over. Happy May, by the way. It's May 1st. So, yeah, that kind of sucked. Then you go out in the 7th inning. Castellanos strikes out. Stott grounds out to short. Rojas grounds out to third. Stram comes in there for the 7th inning. He gets some good defense there. That was the good throw. There was a Joe Adell taking the double. That was the great throw from Johan Rojas, where he at least made it close, planted it off the wall. Then Ward stepped to the plate. Real Muto makes a great throw to third to get Adell trying to steal third. Bohm had a little bit of a high tag, but he had a tag nonetheless. It was originally called safe. They reviewed it. It was overturned. He was called out. And then Ward struck out. Stram was able to finish him off. Going to the 8th inning, Bohm gets that RBI single. It's a 1-run ball game. Castellanos ties it. Johan Rojas hits the 2-run home run off that slider to take the 7-5 lead. Bottom line is, it seems like the MO for all of Philadelphia sports today, never say die. And that was the attitude the Phillies had to have today. Look, now the Phillies are in a situation, we'll examine this a little bit more coming up in the next segment, but now the Phillies are in a situation where they could go back home, having still not lost a series in a month. Since the second series of the season, the Phillies have not lost a series. They've split 2 4-game series, one against the Pirates, the other most recently against the Cincinnati Reds, that same team that took the last series from them, the last time the Phillies lost a series. But the Phillies have a great opportunity here to go out tomorrow and clinch the series. Now, it'll be an earlier game tomorrow. Like I said, we'll break it down a little bit further. But here's one of the things that I really liked about tonight. Also, Kyle Schwarber has just been hitting bombs for the Phillies. The home run he hit in the 2nd inning, first off, 2 innings, two at-bats for Kyle Schwarber. You love to see that as often as possible, and that's why he's your leadoff hitter. Although it gets all conventional wisdom, to give him the opportunity to get more at-bats means he's going to get more swings, more opportunities to hit the long ball. So he does hit a home run in the 2nd inning, 421 feet in the 2nd inning. The way that one played out, just to make sure I give him his just due, Brandon Marsh led off the inning with a ground out to second base. Then Castellanos got his first hit of the ball game to left field. Stott worked a walk. Johan Rojas, unfortunately, flied out to right field. So you got 2 outs in the inning. You got 2 runners on. And Kyle Schwarber steps up there and belts the 3-run home run. It was a 2-1 fastball up in the zone, and he just did the violent stroke through the zone to be able to pop that ball out. The man's just got nothing but raw power. And he delivered for the Phillies to make things a little bit more comfortable for Spencer Turnbull. And again, which will likely be his last start for the foreseeable future for the Phils. But for Kyle Schwarber, he hits his 8th home run of the season. And it feels like it's already June. Seeing him swing the bat the way he's been swinging it, it feels like it's already June. Nobody exemplifies that more than Alec Bohm right now, but we all know that when it comes to Kyle Schwarber hitting home runs, they don't really come in bunches until the month of June hits. And here we are, May 1st. That home run came still in the month of April. So all of a sudden, you see him starting to turn the corner and open things up in a big way for the Phillies to help them start out the season as successful as they have started out the season. Phillies now 20-11 on the year. And tomorrow, and we'll break it down, they'll go for yet another series victory. This one, hopefully making the Angels their latest victim. We'll break that down a little bit further when we come back. You are locked on Philadelphia Phillies postcast on the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. All right, let's talk about mom. Let's talk about Mother's Day. Okay, you want to take care of mom for Mother's Day? Well, DoorDash is where it's at. Now, you probably use DoorDash for a bunch of other stuff. You might not be thinking DoorDash when it comes to stuff for Mother's Day. Well, now you can. Everyone, you love DoorDash, but now you haven't thought of maybe put it together when it comes to Mother's Day. Use promo code LOCKEDONMLB. You see it at the bottom of the screen right there. LOCKEDONMLB to get 50% off your next order on DoorDash. Up to $15 when you spend $15 or more on your next flower order for mom. Flower arrangements for mom for Mother's Day. Or maybe your convenience order, maybe grocery or retail order. Whatever it might be on DoorDash, you can hook it up right there. Use promo code LOCKEDONMLB when ordering, when using DoorDash. We all want to make sure we take care of mom for Mother's Day, and DoorDash offers you the way to do so in a very efficient and convenient way. Get thoughtful gifts that mom deserves and mom loves, like the brands she loves. You can get them on DoorDash. It's convenient and it fits into your schedule extremely well for that very efficient way to order a nice thing for mom for Mother's Day. Choose same-day delivery or schedule a week ahead of time for when flowers and gifts should arrive at her door with DoorDash. Order now and get everything you need for Mother's Day on DoorDash. Once again, use promo code LOCKEDONMLB. That's promo code LOCKEDONMLB to get 50% off your next order, up to $15 when you spend $15 or more on your next flower arrangement, convenience, grocery store, or retail order now on DoorDash. That's promo code LOCKEDONMLB. Using DoorDash today. Terms apply. Here's what we can look at right now for the Philadelphia Phillies and what they got on tap for tomorrow afternoon. It's going to be a 4:05 start time in Anaheim, where the Phillies will look to return home. Excuse me, 4:07 to be exact. Start time in Anaheim tomorrow, where the Phillies will try to return home 10 games over 500. Zach Wheeler will be on the hill against Patrick Sandoval, left-handed pitcher. Sandoval has a 6.33 ERA on the season. He is 1-4. He is coming off a 3 earned run, 4-run performance over 5 2/3, surrendering 9 hits and surrendering 1 home run to the Minnesota Twins, who are a red-hot baseball team. And previous to that, he did face those Cincinnati Reds that the Phillies have already played 7 times this season. And guess what happened in that start? He only lasted 4 innings, allowing 7 runs, all of them earned on 6 hits, did give up a home run, and he walked 5. Now, I know what you might be thinking. The Phillies just walked 9 times last night. Then today happened. Could they potentially work a couple more walks against this left-handed pitcher today? Tomorrow. Well, no, later today. It is later today. 27-year-old left-handed pitcher, Patrick Sandoval, gets the start for the Angels, and we'll see if the Phillies can keep the bats going. 7 runs tonight. You would definitely want to see them build off of that. As far as Zach Wheeler goes, he'll be looking to up his record as well when he gets this start tomorrow afternoon. Again, 4:07 start time. Zach Wheeler, here's what he's coming off of. He is 2-3 on the season with a .93 ERA. Basically, if you're a Phillies pitcher and your ERA is above 2 right now, you're terrible. That's basically how that works, unfortunately, for that person. But anyway, 2-3 on the young season. He's coming off a 6-inning performance, 6 shutout innings, just surrendering 1 hit against the Cincinnati Reds. Did not pitch in the Padres series, of course, but he's going to get the ball today, later today for the Phillies and try to pull even at 3-3 on the season. So the Phillies will have that going for him tomorrow. One thing definitely worth noting today, I didn't even mention it yet, but you faced a lefty today in Anderson. And Brandon Marsh and Bryson Stott were both in the lineup today. That's a pretty big abnormality for old Tinker Topper. The way I see it, and this is my overall philosophy in baseball, if you have a guy that you feel could be an everyday player for you, you have to give him the opportunity to be an everyday player. Brandon Marsh has had some struggles against left-handed pitching. Bryson Stott has not. So to see him at least go out there and get the start today against a left-handed starter is a great thing. And you know what's even better than that? Facing Tyler Anderson today, you have Bryson Stott and Brandon Marsh in there. Brandon Marsh, unfortunately, did not come up with a big hit today. But Bryson Stott did come up with a big hit. He scored 2 runs, and he also worked a walk. That, for me, is at least a step in the right direction. Marsh, still not great against left-handed pitching. But if you're going to be of the philosophy, and this is how Rob Thompson has approached things in the past, if you're going to be of the philosophy that you got to play your reserves every once in a while, the big stink, unfortunately, was that 4-game series last year out in Arizona, not in the playoffs, but it was right before the Phillies finally started to figure out how to win on the road a little bit. They had a game against the Arizona Diamondbacks where they had 3 non-regular players in the lineup. Seems like a little much. Most recently against the Cincinnati Reds, there was another lineup like that where you had 3 non-regular players in the lineup. And somehow you almost won that game. Now you have to, if you're going to say that you got to get those guys out there occasionally, well, don't you also have to at least occasionally have guys that might not be facing lefties regularly, face them every once in a while, just see if they've made improvements? Like Bryson Stott has proven that he can hit against left-handed pitching. Brandon Marsh has proven that that's a big struggle for him. But every once in a while, you got to make sure you put somebody out there to make sure they can, or to see if they can fight, to see if they can fight through those struggles. That's the easier way to say that. Brandon Marsh doesn't appear ready to do it yet, but that doesn't mean he shouldn't get the opportunities from time to time to do it. And with the way Christian Pache hasn't really been hitting, it hasn't gotten the big opportunities right there, I'm more than willing to see Brandon Marsh go out there and have a chance to hit against a left-handed pitcher. Unfortunately, that didn't pay off for him tonight. But it's at least a good experience for him. Overall, the average is sunk now below 270 for him. Also, his counterpart. This is so crazy. I highlighted this for you guys yesterday. But Brandon Marsh and Logan O'Hoppe were traded for each other at last year's deadline, or 2 years ago at the deadline. And Marsh is now hitting 269 on the season. Logan O'Hoppe is hitting 270. Brandon Marsh's on-base percentage is now 314. Logan O'Hoppe is at 330. So they're pretty even slugging percentage. Marsh has got him 505 to 404. Pretty even trade. Coming into the series, it looked like that. After 2 games, it still looks very much like that. But a lot of good signs from this Phillies lineup today. Schwarber at least had that home run. Turner had the 2 hits again late in the game that helped get things going, especially getting the in-scoring position for Alec Bohm in that 8th inning that led to the making it a 1-run game again. And then Bohm coming up with the 2 hits. Real Muto had a single, and Nick Castellanos had the 3-hit night. Bottom of the order had 5 hits for you. And the top of the order produced 2, so that's good. One thing, though, Harper was able to work 2 walks. The average goes down to 230, though, on the season. That's what we're looking at for this Philadelphia Phillies ball club. Going forward, though, just when you thought Yunior Marte was going to start helping you out of this Phillies bullpen, not so much this time around. He only goes 2/3 of an inning. Granted, he got the double play ball that was botched by Trea Turner. Still can't give up a 3-run home run after that. But again, as they say, that is baseball. Stram gave you 1 inning of work, only surrendered the 1 hit, struck out 1. Alvarado, 1 inning, 1 hit, and then Jeff Hoffman came in for his 2nd save of the season. Jose Alvarado gets the win for the Phillies tonight. He improves to 1-1. Hoffman gets his 2nd save, strikes out 1 over 1 inning, lowers his ERA to 1.29 on the season. Once again, Phillies will be back at it. They'll look for 2 of 3 against the Los Angeles Angels tomorrow afternoon at 4:07. Go get that win, boys. Go get that win. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. This is Locked On Sports Philadelphia. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. This has been a Philadelphia Phillies Postcast. My name is Mark Farzetta. Once again, like and subscribe to Locked On Sports Philadelphia. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you tomorrow.